What's up, everybody? It's Matt, Comic Order 410. I'm just getting around to showing some of the stuff I got at Baltimore Comic Con and Monster Mania Con. They were about a month ago. Gonna get into some of the con exclusives and the books I got signed. This is the Baltimore Comic Con program and map. Cover's done by Jamar Nichols. And this is the cover for Monster Mania Con's program. It's done by Scott Jackson. Pretty cool with Superman in the Hellraiser box. This was an exclusive at Baltimore Comic Con. It's a J. Scott Campbell Sheena #1 gold foil variant. Actually got two of those. And I also got the Harley Quinn chrome variant. Couldn't find it. Don't know where I put it. It's around here somewhere though. Got the Killer Instinct red foil variant to #1. Foil variant. Are you all seeing a trend on the con exclusives now? Foil variant to metal #1, gorgeous Jim Lee cover. And another foil variant to DC metal #2, another beautiful Jim Lee cover. Really like that one. This is the Virgin variant to the new Big Trouble in Little China series. To issue #1. It's the San Diego Comic-Con previews exclusive variant to Betty Page, and it's the Linsner cover, just slightly retouched, different colors and whatnot, and it says San Diego. But Dynamite still had those at their table. Got this at the Boom table. This is a variant to, I think, Power Rangers 13 or 16, but it's a 1 in 50 Virgin, and I've never seen it. And also, the belt is gold foil. So I bought one of those. Wanted this when it came out. This series is dead in the water, unfortunately. Only #1 came out, and they told me, Stranger Comics, they were at the convention, and they told me that they had to fire the artist, Broussard, which is a shame, because interiors were pretty good, but they're supposedly going to finish it. But since this series is kind of, falling apart, I got a good deal on these Art Germ variants that I wanted when they came out, but didn't get them. Paid, I think, 40 or 50 for this set. This is the color one, and that's the black and white Virgin. This one's really rare. I think like 500 or 800 copies, something like that. So I was really happy to get my hands on those a little cheaper. Here's another variant I got at the show. The guy from Bulletproof Comics let me pick through and grab a copy that I wanted. This is the metal #2 Gabriel Del Otto Virgin variant. It was an exclusive to Bulletproof Comics, and like I said, the guy was really cool. Let me pick through and grab the copy I wanted. Submitted it right to CGC with no press. Came back a 9.8. Beautiful cover. Alright, next up, books that I got signed. Freddie Williams II was there, and really been digging his work on the He-Man Thundercats mini and the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mini. The writing was great on these too, especially this one. The crossovers made sense. It wasn't hokey how they ended up running into each other, and you could tell it was done by people who are fans of the property. So this is a good read if you're a fan of He-Man or the Thundercats. But he signed my #1, and this is the other cover to #1 of all the villains. Great covers. Signed my #2. He was really cool. I also got a con exclusive variant to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Batman #1 that he said he only sells at conventions. You can't get it on his website or at any store. So got one of those. I submitted it for grading, and he signed my 3, my 4, 5, and 6. And then he was nice enough to sign all my Batman TMNTs as well. Got my number 1 sign, 2, 3, really like that cover, 4, 5, another spectacular cover there by Williams, like that he threw the creeper in on there, I told him that, and number 6. Great miniseries. If you haven't read them, I suggest picking them up. It was hard to catch up with Scotty Young. He only showed up Sunday and he left by noon, but I happened to catch him. I was literally one of the last 3 people he signed books for. Got my I Hate Fairyland and the number 1 variant, the regular cover, the number 1 and the variant. Got them signed and submitted them. Signed my number 3. My number 2 rather, sorry, and this is the variant to number 5. Really like the claymation. This is a great read. Definitely not for kids. Very offensive, very gory, but really loving this I Hate Fairyland series from Scotty Young. Signed my Lone Wolf and Cub homage cover there to number 12. Also got him to sign my Spider-Man Legend of the Spider Clan number 5. I believe this was the first Scotty Young work I read. I might have read, I think this came out before his Venom. But also got Carrie Andrews to sign this. My number 1, I got them both to sign it, and Carrie Andrews remarked it with a Spidey head for me. So I submitted that one. I have quite a few books coming back. Always go see the Living Corpse crew. I already showed they did 2 great commissions for me. And got Ken Hazer to sign his variant to Evil Ernie number 1. Ken Hazer and Blair Smith signed the variant to Flash Gordon number 1 as cutie cover. Another great cover that Ken and Blair did. This is the Dynamic Forces website exclusive to Ash and the Army of Darkness number 1. They both signed that. This is limited to only 150 copies, so that's a rare variant right there. And got some Xenoscope Living Corpses signed by them. Some of these are doubles. Some of them I didn't have. Buzz and Ken signed that, and Buzz Hassan remarked it for me with a corpse head. And again on number 1/2. Very cool. That looks good on that cover. Ken and Buzz signed this one. This is number 3. Number 4. Really like that cover. Number 5, and this is the variant to number 5. I really like this cover. I didn't have that one. I know this is my first copy of that. I've got them to sign, and they signed number 6. And then this is the Relics preview for their new trade paperback that they did on Kickstarter. Really good. I suggest picking it up. The interior art is awesome. They really took their time to do some great interior art, which you don't see as often nowadays, unfortunately. But this preview was real limited, and they signed it and remarked it for me as well. Awesome, guys. If you haven't checked out The Living Corpse, do yourself a favor. Okay. Apparently, Lieber Meho does not do too many U.S. appearances at conventions, and I believe he lives in Italy. But he was there. I tried in vain to get a commission from him, but I was lucky enough to get some books signed, and I got a couple prints from him. And I've submitted, I think, 3 or 4 books that he signed for me, but also signed my Daredevil 92, beautiful cover, and my Daredevil 93. Met Jeff Parker, got him to sign my Agents of Atlas miniseries number 1. This is a very underrated mini. It's a good read. Suggest picking it up if you see it cheap. And he signed my Agents of Atlas number 2. Many of you know how much I love this book. It's one of my favorite books in years, especially from the big 2. What a great idea Future Quest was, and Jeff Parker, Doc Shaner, and Steve Rude just executed it beautifully. It actually won a Harvey Award, I believe, for like Best Series of the Year, and some other award, like an Imagine Award. I forget the name of it, but well deserved. Such a great read, great art, everything. Jeff Parker signed my Future Quest number 1 and number 2. And the final issue, number 12. Again, if you were a fan of Space Ghost or Johnny Quest or Herculoids, do yourself a favor and pick that up and give it a read. Got Steve Conley to sign Astounding Space Thrills number 2. And then him and Marty Bowman signed this, which is the Crater Kid cover to the same issue. Very cool guy. I always check him out at conventions too. I'm forgetting his first name, but the writer of this book was at Boone's table, so I bought Lazaretto number 1, and he was actually really nice. I need to give this a read, but last name's Chapman. Drawn a blank on his first name, but he signed that for me, which is a very cool guy. Saul Linsner again. Always like to see him and his wife. They're two of the nicest people in the industry. Got a Harley commission from him last year, and this year I got him to do a Dawn sketch on a blank cover, full-size Dawn sketch, and I submitted that for grading. But he got his 2017 sketchbook and his 2016 sketchbook, because I gave the copy I got last year, I gave it to a friend. Got him to sign my Dawn 10th anniversary special, my Dawn Genesis edition, the Wizard send away, Betty Page number 1, regular cover, and Betty Page number 2. Also got a few books, got him to sign that I submitted. I submitted a good bit of books, more than I did last year. I think I submitted 30-some books for grading, so hope to see some of them back soon. I was surprised, I know I didn't get it pressed, but I was surprised that Metal number 2, that came back, that variant came back in less than a month. So hopefully some more will be coming back soon. Next up, always go see Ramona Ford, one of my favorites. Nice lady. One of the greatest artists of all time. Absolutely love this cover. She signed my Super Friends 21. And I'd like to get all her covers signed from this series. Love this series. One of the first things I got into as a kid that started my love for comics. And meeting her, she's so nice. And still draws. She puts out some good original art to this day for fans. She signed my 26, 29, 35. I'd like to get a better copy of this for her to sign. Whitman variant. Oops. Forget the issue number of this, but I got her to sign it. Keith Pollard was there. Really like his work. Never had the chance to meet him. Met him this year. And if I didn't mention it, you know, nearly everybody was charging for signatures this year. More and more do every year. And I don't really have a problem with it unless people get out of hand. And some do. But, you know, if I want somebody's signature, I'll pay for it. But it was getting ridiculous, especially for grading, because some guys try to hide the fact. The one guy was asking the CGC rep to stand back so he didn't have to pay Marv Wolfman's CGC fee, which I think is dirty, honestly. I always tell them if I'm getting a book graded, and I pay their fee, but there was guys like Steve McNiven's inker had like a $10 CGC fee, and I'm like, it's just, people are getting a little carried away with it. But I paid for Keith Pollard's signature. You know, older guy, glad he comes out to see us. Him and his wife were very nice. Signed this gorgeous Captain America 234 cover for me. And Vigilante number 1, which I really dig this series. He signed my number 1 and my number 2. And even though I know this is probably like a 7.0, 6.5, probably a 7.0 copy, I should have submitted this. My Amazing Spider-Man 200 got Marv Wolfman to sign it and Keith Pollard. Probably should have submitted that. Another guy I like to always check out is Ron Wilson, because he's from Baltimore and he's a really nice guy. Got some original art from him again this year, and got him to sign my Frankenstein Monster number 14. and my Masters of the Universe 12. If this was a better copy, I certainly would have submitted this book, but it's just for my private collection. So really dig this Billy Tucci cover to Jonah Hex 53. So I got him to sign it. He's a very, very nice guy. Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, again, two of the nicest people in the whole business. Always a pleasure to meet them. I don't know how they stay happy for so long at these conventions, but they're so nice. Amanda signed that Superman Unchained number 6. It's a classic variant. Jimmy signed my Jonah Hex Yosemite Sam one-shot, which somehow, even though it has Foghorn Leghorn in it, turned out a little better than I could have imagined it would have. Met J.G. Jones again, got a beautiful commission from him this year, so thankful to have it, and got him to sign some books. Always loved this Justice League number 4 Vixen variant that he did. From the first time I saw it, I bought it the day it came out. Got him to sign that for me. Strange Fruit was so behind in coming out, I got my number 1 signed last year. It might have been 2 years ago, I think it was. And they had an exclusive variant to number 1 at Baltimore. So yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. So this took a little while to come out, but the interior art's painted and it's beautiful. Another recommended pickup, good read, is J.G. Jones and Mark Waid's Strange Fruit. But finally got J.G. Jones to sign the rest. He signed my 2, my 3, and number 4. And you see how gorgeous this Wonder Woman cover is. That's how every interior page of Stranger Fruit looks. But arguably my favorite J.G. Jones Wonder Woman cover, Wonder Woman 200. Got him to sign that beauty. Love that cover. Really wanted to submit this because it's a nice copy, but like a dumbass, I sort of smudged the signature. Didn't give it long enough to dry. This is Epic Comics Hellraiser number 2. Got it signed by Doug Bradley. Played Pinhead at Monster Mania Con, but I did get my Hellraiser number 1 signed by him and Ashley Lawrence, who was the main heroine in Hellraiser 1, and I submitted that for grading. Got another copy of this book that I submitted for grading. This is the Dark Horse Comics Creature from the Black Lagoon one-shot prestige format by Art Adams. And I got Riku Browning, who played the original creature in the movie from the 50s. He played the creature in the underwater and water scenes. To my knowledge, the only living Universal monster. So I got him to sign that, and I got my better copy signed as well, and I sent that in for grading. And last but not least, always go see Frank Cho. He's another local here to Baltimore. Got a lot of books signed by him, submitted some good ones. I really debated heavily on submitting these next 3 books, but ultimately decided not to. Love this Frank Cho variant to Black Panther number 8. Signed it in silver there. Looks gorgeous. And this is a book I've been looking for a while. Finally found a nice copy cheap. Hellboy Weird Tales number 6. Just stunning, stunning pulp influence Frank Cho cover. Got that signed. And this is a local store exclusive, Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. This is Frank Cho's exclusive variant to Star Wars number 1. Got him to sign that. I bought a few of them, but I've given quite a few signed copies away to friends, so I always rebuy it. Got my Skyborn number 1 signed by Frank Cho. He did a variant to this last year, which I got him to sign. Got a bunch of my Harleys signed. Love this cover he did to issue 11. Got 2 copies of that. He signed my 14. I mean, his covers are all stunners. It was hard to pick out, but I just went and saw him twice throughout the weekend. He knows, you know, I bug him. But I bought some prints in an art book. 16 with Power Girl. Signed my 18. 20. Really love the coloring on that cover. I had 2 copies of that. So he signed those. 24 and 25, those bookend covers, really great. And last year I got him to sign my Wonder Woman 1 and 2. Was really, really upset that he got pulled off of this book, and it was this cover that got him pulled off. If you don't know, they cropped it because originally it went out further and it showed the corner, quote unquote, of her panties, and Greg Rucka got mad and made them re-edit it and had Cho pulled off the book. And, you know, talk about overreacting. But still a gorgeous cover, even though they fooled with it. And he signed my number 4. 2 copies of that. My number 5. And my number 6. What a stunner that is. So I have all my Frank Cho Wonder Womans signed by him now. Heck of a nice guy. Well, that's it. I didn't really have time to show any of my haul books. There's quite a few, so I'll probably be doing a couple other videos of the haul books from Baltimore Con, and I also went to a small dealers only con and a kind of warehouse sale type thing, so I did get some pretty nice stuff. So, until then, I appreciate all of you stopping by. Thank you for your time. Everyone take care and enjoy your comics.